Ladies and gentlemen, on August the 27th, the strongest storm to ever hit the state of Louisiana came onshore in Cameron Parish and moved its way up through the western corridor of the state, came in at a Category 4. Some people will argue that it was a Category 5. The last sustained winds recorded before the entire radar system in Lake Charles Airport was destroyed was 154 miles an hour sustained winds, with gusts reported at 198 miles an hour. When the storm hit North Louisiana, it was still a Category 1. I think I've had legislators from North Louisiana say I never dreamed I'd have a Category 1 hurricane in the northern part of our state. But it was a statewide issue. It's not just southwest Louisiana, even though the area that I come from received the most devastation. But it is an area that created a huge swath of damage throughout this state. I will share with you some issues to give you the enormity of what we're facing in southwest Louisiana right now. Our school system, every one of our schools was impacted by this. They're estimating over $300 million of damage just to our K through 12 schools. McNeese State University estimating over $200 million of damage. Soella Community College is estimating over $150 million of damage. And the damage to the business community is just untold. Hurricane Rita that hit in 2005 turned out to be a $4 billion hit to the insurance industry. There are estimates right now that Hurricane Laura will turn into somewhere in the $12 billion category, somewhere in that neighborhood. And to be honest with you, I think it's going to even be more than that when the smoke does clear. There's been a lot of incredible response in our area. As you know, 100% of the power in the area that I represent, and even north of me, 100% of the power was completely out. The major energy responder in my area is Entergy, but there was impact on Beauregard Electric, Jeff Davis Electric, Cleco, and I'm sure others even to the northern part of the state. I will tell you in my area, the fact that today well over 60% of Calcasieu Parish has been restored to power is absolutely miraculous. All 9 transmission systems coming into that area were completely destroyed. To date, they have replaced almost 9,000 poles just in my area. They have strung over 600 miles of new wire. I think over 6,000 transformers, if I'm not mistaken, were destroyed and replaced. And so it's just been a miraculous recovery effort. The initial response by linemen in our area was over 13,000 people with boots on the ground. And today, even we're 3 weeks out, even today we still have 9,000 linemen working in our area. So why are we here today? As you see, what the agenda is to have some discussion with Suddenlink Cable Company. Suddenlink is actually owned by, if I'm not mistaken, and I'm sure the gentleman can explain it a little bit better, but by a corporation called Altice. They're a national company. They are the major provider, the main provider of internet service in Calcasieu Parish. I've said this publicly, and I've said it to the people at Suddenlink. This is not about television. This is not about a convenience at home of having a television set for your children. What it is truly the issue is about internet service. The complaints that we as legislators have gotten over the course of these past 3 weeks has been just mind-boggling. But I would tell you that these problems actually did not start on August the 27th with this particular company in terms of complaints to us as legislators, and I think you'll hear some of those stories today. I think those complaints have been going on for a period of 2 to 3 years, or maybe even longer than that. With that said, the recovery efforts are throughout the western part of our state. In my perspective is this. First of all, we've got to get our schools and our children in an environment where they can have some form of education. Over in my area, what our university and our community college and our local school system is planning on doing is virtual education. But without internet service, those kids cannot receive an education. I've got reports of people that are literally moving their kids to Houston, Texas, to Baton Rouge, Louisiana, to other parts of the country. I talked to a family yesterday that's relocated to Ohio strictly because of the fact that they want their children to have the opportunity to have an education, even though it's online and it's virtual. But internet service is absolutely critical to the future of our kids, and if we cannot take care of our children, then who in the world can we take care of? Our business communities have been severely impacted by this. There are businesses all over this state that virtually cannot operate without internet service and other services that this cable company renders to them. The healthcare community, same thing. There are clinics all over this state, offices, doctors' offices that cannot operate without services from this company. So those are the kinds of things that we're going to be discussing today. I appreciate, gentlemen, I appreciate you being here from Altice today. We had a very good meeting in Lake Charles yesterday, and do appreciate your time to be here. Representative Davis and I had a very good conversation this morning with the CEO of Altice, Mr. Derek Goei, yeah. And I found it to be very helpful. I think he understands the plight that we're in. But anyway, let's move on. I've said enough. And Representative Davis, would you care to say something? You should be on. Are you on? Yeah.
I think I'm on. Yep, I'm on now. Good morning, everyone. Thank you, Mr. Chairman, for calling this meeting with me and the rest of the committee members. There's not much more I can add. I think you've said everything that needs to be said regarding an opening. I just want to, for the public's note, to know the members that are here that are not members of the House Commerce Committee that have driven up today to represent their constituents. Speaker Pro Tem McGee is here. Representative Desatel, Representative Owen, Representative Romero, Representative Foreman, Representative Johnson, and Representative McFarland all came here today to represent their constituents and meet with the members of the representative of Altice to just hopefully this will open up a better line of communication between the members that are here today and the members of Altice, and in addition open up those lines of communications with their constituents. As the chair said, we have many concerns for our constituents, for our businesses, for our schools, kids that are virtual learning, not only because of the COVID pandemic, but has been heightened because of Hurricane Laura. So thank you to the Altice representatives for being here. Thank you to the members for being here. And I think we're going to have a very productive meeting. So with that, I will turn it over because I know we have a lot of testimony today.